Look how handsome you are.
Look here. Hey, friend.
Oh, how's it going?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Good. Good. Just trying to see how I can like set this up. I got kicked out of my room so Pat can go do his interview.
Oh, no. We've been rejected.
I got put to another room.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, theirs is probably the official interview. Ours is just catching up. So that's fine. We'll pretend we're official. I'll add
Yeah,
your
no, we're
business
super.
Slack. How
Yeah.
are you?
Dude, you look great.
Oh,
Good, man. I'm
thanks, man.
chilling. Just saw our bus for the very first time. It was our very first bus tour. So I got a little emotional when I walked outside and I saw that this was our rig. So
I love that. Have you ever
yeah.
done anything on a bus before, like non your own tour?
Drugs. No, I'm just kidding. No, I've been on one before just to like, I've been on Lamb of God's bus before just to like meet the guys and stuff.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've never like toured in a bus before.
That's exciting. That's a thing as an Australian we just don't really have because, like, as you know, being
Mm.
here, you get like there's only 5 stops really in
Yeah. Oh
a
yeah.
bus, and you have to fly for some of those anyway. So,
Yeah. 100%.
uh,
Trying to go sideways, just like you. I want to be just like Nathan.
oh, you don't want to do that. That's a terrible mistake.
No, it's not. I would be like way more handsome and in shape.
The in shape part I can definitely help with, but you've got the handsome
Yeah.
going down. Hey, I want to talk. I'm just going to be like really left center here. What's going on with you barbering wise? Because that's a thing that people maybe don't know about you on here. That you're a very talented barber,
Hmm.
hairdresser. Is that something that you still dabble in?
Yeah, 100%. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina now, and I always feel like moving is always difficult trying to build up a new clientele.
Yeah.
And I've never worked in a salon before, so I've been in a salon for the past like few months.
How's that?
So it's a little tough because it's hard to build a clientele in a salon because salons don't normally take walk-ins like barbershops do. Like
Sure. It's all
like your
booked.
traditional barbershop, you just like you could walk in and just like be like, sit down, we'll be right with you.
Yeah.
It's not like that in a salon. It's like very high endy. So I was just like, maybe I'll try this out for a little bit. But um yeah, I think next time I get back, hopefully maybe I'll have like a barbershop lined up to maybe try start doing that again.
Yeah.
But it's been cool. Like I get really lucky because a lot of fans that like live in the North Carolina area. Some people will drive from Raleigh, which is like 2 hours.
Cool.
Some drive from like South Carolina up to North Carolina, which to Charlotte, it's only like a half hour to 50 minutes to South
It's
Carolina.
still an effort.
Yeah, yeah. So like people are making like valiant efforts like that to come get a haircut, and like I get really psyched on that. So it's really cool. I still do cut hair and I enjoy it. I really only still cut hair because I enjoy doing it. And when I'm home for too long, I don't like to just like sit home.
Yeah.
I want to be being productive still and have like my creative side. And um I really have been enjoying doing a lot of like the newer mullets for people.
Sick. Yeah.
Yeah, because people think like mullet is just like one type of mullet, super tight, super long, has to look dorky. It's like there's so many different flavors of mullet that I can give you whatever works for you.
I like
Whatever
that.
you're looking for. You want like a really extreme mullet? I could do it. You want something that's like a mullet but like kind of subtle that still has the mullet
A tasteful
aspects?
mullet.
Yeah. So that's what I like to do. I like to be able to help people find that identity for themselves that they really want to have, but they're too afraid to step really into that world.
Have you had, I think this would be like because people will be coming to see you for you. Have you ever had
Hmm.
any experience where people are coming in and it's like, it's slightly awkward or off putting or the vibe's not there? Because, like, I feel like at a meet and greet or something or at a show, you can like say hi to that person and then be like, oh, I've got to go do this thing now. But where you're cutting your hair, like, oh, fuck, I'm stuck here now. I'm doing this
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah. So I haven't really. I guess I get really lucky, but I'm also very personable. And I kind of just like take all of those into account. Like I try to put myself in their shoes. Like if I
Yeah.
was going to meet like one of my favorite singers, like how would I act? Some people can be super awkward to a point where they just don't say anything and they're just like stuck and just like, and I'm just like trying to like chop it up and talk to them a
Yeah.
little bit, but they're just like, yeah, and I'm like, hey, what kind of haircut do you want? Like, whatever you think looks good.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I
Guess
mean,
you're going
okay.
bald.
I guess we're getting a mullet then. Yeah,
Then
it's funny. And then some people I've actually had I had like an older gentleman, maybe like in his 50s. He like came in wearing like a metal shirt, and we were talking about the band. I can't remember the band, um, but he was like, "Hey, you look super familiar. Like you look like a band guy. Are you like in a band?" So I told him who I was, and he was like, he like turned around in his chair, and I was like, "Hey," and he's like,
hello.
"No way." He's like, "Dude, I actually just started listening to you guys like 2 years ago, and I was listening to you guys on the way here. That's actually wild." So
That's
I'm
so
like, in my
cool.
head, I'm like, did he already know it was me, or is he pulling a chain right now? But
Either way, good
um,
acting.
yeah, I'm great acting. I mean, the whole turnaround, he
Yeah,
got me.
that's where it
He
gets you being
got
like the ooh, like a double take type
Yeah,
thing.
like he had to like stare at me for a minute to believe it was real. I was like, touch it, it's real. It's fine.
Here's the thing as well, and we talked about this on maybe not hostage, might have been the second single. For a dude that is as lovely as you are, you can look real screamy and terrifying when you're doing your thing.
Mhm,
So I can understand
mhm,
how people might like need to do a double take because getting like
mhm.
Happy Joe the Barber is not Joe
Yeah,
out on
yeah.
stage.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm definitely a true Gemini when you think about it, you know. It's I definitely have my two sides. When I'm on stage, I'm a completely different person. When I'm off stage, I am also a completely different person.
Yeah.
It's so funny because like next week we'll be playing my hometown. Salon is going to come to the show,
Cool.
and all of them were saying like, I'm so excited to see you as not you, because I feel like I've watched some videos of you and you're not the same person. You're like this sweet, like bubbly person who just like lights up the salon every time you walk in. And I'm just like, yeah, well, I mean, let's hope you guys don't hate it.
Yeah. I'm gonna make it real dark. You wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it really scary for you guys.
How much of the new album are we playing upcoming tour? And how
We're
much you had a chance to
doing
practice?
As a full band, we've had the past couple days to practice as a full band. But I mean, every time I'm done with the record, I kind of don't listen to anything else but the record, especially the songs that we're going to be playing live, because I
Yeah.
want to have everything dialed in. Like, there's so many different types of voices on the record. So I always want to make sure I'm like choosing the right ones for live and like
Sure.
experimenting with them for weeks before I'm like, I'm sold on this one. This is going to be solid. You know, some ones that I might want to work on a little bit or create a different voice for live because it'll have a nice blend of the two out of seven voices that you hear, you
That's a
know?
fucking great point, and that kind of brings me to the next thing because obviously we will release this when the album is out, so we can talk about it
Hmm.
in full because obviously I've had it for a few months.
Hmm.
This is this is by far the most experimental you've been with your vocals on an album. Was that
Hmm.
something to start with? Was that dictated by you being like, I want to do this, this is where I'm feeling? Or was that like the songs were written that way and it was kind of been like, hey, we want you to do this element? How did that kind of come about?
I feel like with each record, I try to bring a different element. And I think Will is ready for that when he does the writing process of the record, where he's just like, I am going to write a certain way, and Joe's just going to surprise me when he comes in
Cool.
because I'm going to have all these different voices that I didn't have for the last record. Like I'll bring some voices back, but then I'll have some new tricks or things that I've just been working on or things that I've enhanced. And it's been really good, especially like with this record. It was a lot of fun, like coming into the studio with like no expectations to being like, okay, wow, I'm actually going to do like like very very clean singing parts, but not like whiny, just like very prominent, big and open,
Yeah.
and like very breathy, you know. Um, so it was just like a couple new things that we've never done on a record. We were just like, let's just see how it works, and it was a lot of trial and error, and we also don't try to force things. We're not like the type of band that likes to just like, oh, this is meant for clean singing. We must force clean singing here. It's like, no, we could do like a cool scream over something that could be considered like a clean singing spot here.
Okay.
But like, if we have it like a good melody for it and it's screamed in notes, it could sound way cooler than just forcing myself to clean sing for the sake of having cleans, you
Yeah.
know? So we definitely don't like to force anything. Everything just kind of came naturally with this record.
Was anything because of like the success of what the future holds, did that kind of give you the confidence to be like, fuck, like that? We took some chance on that one, it paid off. we can take our chances here and know that there's a good chance they're going to work?
Yeah, after the past couple records, we've noticed that a lot of people do like the newer stuff. They are really grasping onto the newer material. So now we're just trusting in our instinct to be like, we're going to confidently go into this and be like, this is what we're doing because we're
Yeah.
pretty sure if we like it, then they're going to love it.
Yeah, hell yeah. I think you're right. Like from a reaction kind of finger to the pulse standpoint, you can
Mhm.
see the positivity that comes from the newer stuff. And like I saw the engagement, people being like, fucking Joe's clean singing, big open, clean
Yeah.
chorus. Like it's
Mhm.
done, as you said, it's not like done for the sake of doing it. It's done because that's what the song needs and it's done well.
Yeah, it's stomach because it requires that there. That emotion is there already. Now let's encapsulate it and push it, you know.
Yeah, yeah, hell yeah. Was there anything on there that you were like a bit apprehensive or interested to see the feedback? Obviously, Hostage coming out as like the first single, it was something so different. Was there any nerves there?
Um, no, I think Hostage was like one of my favorites. I think that was the first one that we actually tracked. And when we were done with it, I was like, this chorus fucking rips. This is
Yeah,
really
go.
cool. Like, this sounds awesome. This is awesome. And like, just starting off the and like super stompy, I was like, ah, this song fucking rules. It was a nice way to start like the
Cool.
recording process.
Yeah.
And then, so I guess like, once we got to like the very, very last song, um, uh, like Silver Sun. Um, that's where it the last album on the record or the last song on the record is always my favorite song because there's always like for lack of a better term like my vocal Olympics are on there. It's
Cool.
just like
Yeah.
I'll shoot every range possible on there and do the most different vocal that you probably haven't heard on a Fit record before. And a lot of that was like just like really cool clean singing on it, but like that ending track is always supposed to be the most emotional track on the record,
I feel
where
like
it's
that's a pretty
supposed to.
like that's the thing that happens on most like heavy albums. Particularly when they've got some emotion
Mm,
in it. It's like like melting brutality, and then here's your feelings to encapsulate
yeah,
that. So
exactly. It's like, how do we end off on this? And it's like, it's not just like emotional, like sad emotional the entire time. Like there's, you feel like some anger in there as well, you know. But like the singing parts, you could really feel the passion in it, which was really cool. And that's what we like to capture as well, especially doing like final songs like that, is really portraying the emotion of each track. And that track being super emotional, I feel like the cleans in it were really cool. And then it comes into like this like really heavy middle place where you're just like, where the fuck did
yeah,
this come from? And then it goes back like at the very end, goes back into like this clean singing, like really like uplifting thing. And it just like hits you out of nowhere and it's super fun. And I really had a lot of fun tracking that one. That one was cool.
I feel like the whole album and the way that it flows, the way that you've like put the tracks together, and again, I'm sure it comes into like the way Will's written it, but there is a real like excitement to the flow of it. There's like
Mm,
crushing heavy into like a soaring thing, into like something dark, into something that like you haven't heard before. Like around that middle section, like Lurch really stood out to me when the first time I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. Like that's there's a
yeah,
new
yeah.
energy here. There is
Mm,
like, yeah, peaks and troughs for the whole album going the way through. So I think it works really well to finish on Silver Sun
yeah,
because of that reason.
for
Like
sure.
you had that journey along the way.
Yeah, that's where it's like it's really like a roller coaster of emotions for that last one.
Fully. How do you go about like in past records playing them live? Does that stuff is it hard to fit that into a set list, like getting those songs to be featured in a live standpoint?
No, I think I'm like really excited for this next set list that we're doing because now it's like all my favorite newer songs that we've written. So
Sure.
now it's just like now this is going to be like a really fun set list for me because it's like in my opinion it's now like a bunch of fucking bangers in an entire set now. So it's just like it's super cool.
Yeah, hell
It's
yeah.
exciting. It's exciting to bring older stuff back. Like, you know, maybe not as old as like Hellbound and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Um, that was like a very, very heavy, heavy record. You know, that was the first record I listened to from Fit for an Actually, no, it's a lie. I listened to the EP, the demo, the 4-song demo, Hell on Earth, before that. I was a big Fit for an Autopsy fan before I joined the band. So
Is
yeah, I
there
listened.
any like obviously like the band is you're in the band now. It's not like the
Mm,
band wouldn't be complete in my opinion without you. I think you've added this
Thank you.
this element to them that they elevated the band.
Mhm.
When playing that older stuff, is there any like ownership on that for you now, being like, no, no, like this is my stuff too, I'm part of this? Or do you still feel like, well, I'm paying tribute to what was there before?
No, I'm doing fucking Fit for an Autopsy karaoke, baby. That
Yeah.
shit is fucking so much fun to me. It's just,
Yeah.
that's just like I used to sing that shit in my car, so it's just like I'm just excited to be able to play those songs. Like I won't take ownership for it at all. Yes, it's a piece of my band and our history, but I'll always use it as like homage to what I fell in love with Fit for an
Yeah.
Autopsy.
That's
Mm,
cool. I like that. That's
yeah,
actually must be
it's
such a
super
cool thing
sick.
to be part of. Yeah, as I said, like the band that you
Yeah,
love and you grew up listening to then be able to
yeah,
feature in and then bring it into like a new era.
yeah. Like, have you ever seen the movie Rockstar? Marky Mark?
No, I
No way.
confession, I don't like Mark Wahlberg.
I mean, that's fine, but like the movie Rockstar, watch it. You'll
Okay,
understand
I promise you I'll do it.
exactly, and then we'll talk about it. You can text
Okay,
me. I'm gonna.
yeah,
We're friends.
yeah. We'll have a conversation that's not recorded.
Yeah, it's basically Marky Mark's in it, and he's like has like this like cover band of like his favorite band, who's still an active big band, and he goes to the show, and the singer like locks eyes with him and has him come on stage and sing the rest of the set, and the singer walks off the stage, and never comes back again, and he's the new singer for the band.
Okay, okay, I like that. That's a cool story.
Yeah, it's an awesome film. Like the movie itself was really, really, really cool. Like very, very good watch. So
I can't
that's how I
imagine
felt
him
when I
playing
got
a
the phone
rock
call.
star.
It's pretty cool, actually. He does a very good job with it.
My issue with him is that he plays the same thing in everything.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, for sure. He definitely does have like a very similar role and everything. There was one movie I recently saw that he did that was an older movie. Um, he was like a psycho boyfriend, like that was like a killer.
Oh, I think if I see him in a movie, I'm just like I've seen a bunch of them, and I think my favorite is The Departed. I think he does a great job in that, but
He's
also
That's phenomenal.
he's playing a Bostonian cop guy. Like you're playing who
Hmm.
you are, so
Exactly,
you're really
exactly.
good at who you are. But in other things, I don't know. I just
You're not creating a character and sticking to the character. Like, who's the guy that plays Venom? He's like my favorite, one of my
Hardy,
favorite actors. Yeah,
yeah,
dude. Jeff Hardy, Tom Hardy,
Tom
Tom
Hardy,
Hardy,
yeah,
Tom Hardy. Jeff Hardy's a wrestler. He's sick as fuck too. But yeah, no.
different though.
Yeah, no. Tom Hardy. When you give that dude a role, he takes it,
Yeah,
and he really makes dude. Like I
Legend,
wasn't expecting it. Legend was phenomenal,
yeah,
and then him in what was it? Peaky Blinders. Like
yeah, yeah.
what the hell,
Yeah,
dude? Like totally switched on. Leonardo DiCaprio was another one where he could just like be a completely different character each time.
that is true. There's certain actors that have that, whereas like you never know what version of them you're getting in a different thing.
Hmm.
I guess
Oh
that's
yeah,
I can understand why you get character actors and why you get someone like Mark Wahlberg. If you want Mark Wahlberg, that's the guy you get. You want that angry,
exactly. You're
buff
looking for that
Boston guy.
role. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly him. Have you seen just when you're on the Tom Hardy Rock and Roller?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
I need
dude,
to watch that.
that's
That's
like
on my list.
yeah, he's it's so good. I love all of Guy Ritchie's movies. Like I'm a
Yeah,
huge dialogue guy, but
yeah,
that's
yeah.
like one of my favorite. I feel it's real underrated, so you should check that
So
out.
I'll have to watch Rock and Roller. You
I'll
have to
watch
watch
Rockstar.
Rockstar.
All right,
Yeah.
deal. We'll get back with our little notes together. Here's the bit that I
Yeah.
liked. So, upcoming tour. How long are you on the road for? Bus tour is
So
hefty.
yeah, so we're in the States for a month, and then we go straight to Europe right after that. And then I won't be home till I think we were looking at flights for like December 22nd, so right before Christmas.
Jeez, that's a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, long time away from home, long time away from my puppy.
Yeah. How is little pup doing?
Oh, Brucey boy's the best. He's still being crate trained right now, so he hates it, but he's getting better with it. He's just so sweet. He's just such a sweet boy. He just like he wants to be loved all the time, and dude, he's just so chill. He's like perfect. I got so lucky with him.
We said
Like,
the same thing. Is this your first dog?
no, I've had this is my first dog where it was like this was like my decision where I was like, I need this best friend in my life and I will
Yeah.
have him with me forever.
Yeah.
So, because I've had dogs with family and stuff like that. But like this was one where I was like, I'm gonna go adopt a pup.
Great. What happens
Yeah.
when you tour? What's the plan there?
So my roommate watches them right now.
Oh, cool.
So my roommate takes care of them while I'm gone. So it
Yeah,
makes it a
that's
lot
cool.
easier.
That is a good thing. I guess obviously me and my wife mostly travel together. So when we go, we
Mm.
have to leave Luna with someone. And that's
Mm.
always like real hard because we're very lucky. We've got friends that look after her and they're like, they love her and we trust them completely now. But like for our
Yeah.
honeymoon, we was like 4.5 weeks away from her and we miss her like crazy. And also,
Yeah.
who do we trust to like look after her for that time? Because neither one of us is there for like for her mental well being.
Yeah. And my roommate loves him. It's just like it, and my dog loves my roommate. He's
Great.
just he all he does is just lay on his bed and watches him play games. It's great.
That's a good life for a dog, I think.
He's so sweet. Yeah. And he goes on nice walks. We live in a nice like woodsy area. So he goes on like nice walks. He's got a little backyard area that he can just kind of run around in. So it's good.
Cool. And how are you liking North Carolina as your new home?
I'm enjoying it. I like North Carolina a lot. I lived in Arizona before this, which was cool only because I have family out there. It was kind
Yeah.
of nice to just be around family again, especially during COVID because I moved out there like towards the end of COVID, like right as it was like a year before it ended. Um, but yeah, I mean, I loved Long Island. I grew up in Long Island, New York, and it was great, but I just can't justify spending that much money to live. It's just not feasible. And like North Carolina is affordable. Plenty of jobs for anybody who's like looking to move there. There's so much development. And
Cool.
anytime you're looking at places to buy or rent, like they're all brand spanking new, dude. Like everything's brand new and it's all like really nice. You get what you pay for. It's like really, really nice. You
That's
don't
a,
feel
a
like
thing you
you're
don't hear very
spending
often in real
all your
estate.
money.
Like getting what you
Yeah,
pay
right.
for. That just doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, there are areas where it's like, oh, this is kind of expensive, but it's like, yeah, but like what you're getting for the price anywhere else is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Uh Back to the Europe tour because I didn't ask my next question because I got distracted.
Mm.
The lineup is stacked.
For Europe?
Yeah. Well, I mean both
Yeah,
tours. US is also stacked,
yeah.
but
Oh yeah, the U.S. tour is stacked. Body Snatcher, Distant, Silosis, and
yeah.
Judiciary. It's,
Have you listened to the
it's a rip.
new Silas EP, The Path?
I have not had a chance to check it
Oh,
out yet.
it's
I've been,
so
like I said,
good.
I've been so dialed in on making sure
Yeah.
these songs are perfect that like I haven't listened to anything else but this.
Is that the
But
hard thing when you're only
that's
like going through your own stuff? Do you feel like you get a bit tunnel vision?
I do. I especially me because I get super hyper focused on things, and I don't want to say I'm a perfectionist because I'm not like perfect by any means, but I want to know every angle of it. I really like to understand the beast that I'm trying to tame.
Yeah. I don't think
So
calling yourself a perfectionist means you're perfect. It means you're striving to be perfect. That's a good. I
mm,
think that's a good quality to have.
okay, yeah.
Take it.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah. And in terms of length of set list, that must be
Mm.
getting because like headline tours, they've become bigger and bigger. How
Yeah, that's all. I feel like that's all we've been doing the past few years too. Is we've been doing a lot of headliners, which has been great. We've done not a lot of support touring recently,
I've
so
only
I've been
seen you on support tours in Australia, you jerk. Come to a headline tour.
that's because it's Australia. We're still building ourselves out there. Like
Yeah.
in the places that we're still building ourselves, we're going to be doing like, short with. I mean, we did one headliner in Australia, but I think you weren't around for that
I
one.
wasn't.
That was the
Yeah.
one you missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I had
But
COVID or something.
yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I was like, so now my body's kind of used to doing an hour set. So like
Yeah.
when
Okay.
I get blessed with a support tour and I'm just like 30 minutes in and out, I'm like, let me
Blessings
go.
big.
Yeah, yeah, it's great. But I mean, there's always the differences. I want to be able to play more songs, but it's kind of cool to be able to just go out on tour, play your 30 minutes and get off and then enjoy watching the other bands that you're like on tour with that you're
Sure.
really excited to see.
Yeah.
Like when we did that Lamb of God tour, I was like, it was Lamb of God, Killswitch Engage, and then it switched out with like Motionless in White for a couple weeks, and then it was um, Spirit Box for a couple weeks, and then it was uh animals as leaders for
Oh,
a couple
cool.
days too. And I was like, dude, we're opening, so we play first, and then I get to sit back in like these big ass like state like
Yeah.
arenas, and just like this is so cool to watch all these bands ripping and just like how professional it all is. It just like it humblizes and like really humbles you
That's such a wild
when you
thing to
see all
me
that.
as an Australian to hear a lineup like that, because that's a mini festival for Australia. Like that's like half of a
Hmm.
festival lineup. Not Fest last year
Oh
was
yeah,
literally like three of those bands. So
oh yeah.
that's fucking so. We got to see Killswitch play. They supported Iron Maiden recently out here,
Oh yeah,
and
I love Killswitch.
it was so good, man. It's just like, of
They're
course,
so, and those guys as dudes are like some like I grew up listening to Killswitch, and like I watched the DVD,
yeah,
like the End of Heartache DVD when I was a kid, hundreds of times, and getting to tour with them and actually becoming pretty close with some of the guys in the band, I was like, this is unreal, man. Like
yeah.
I literally had you guys on my wall, and now I'm like now I have you on my phone. Like it's
That's
just
such a weird
crazy.
thing, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's so
Yeah.
nuts. It's so cool. And
What's
they're
it?
they're just a phenomenal band.
So
They're
tight.
super super tight, super
Yeah,
tight. And just like as people just like some of the best humans on
I
the
love that.
planet. Like Adam is everything that you would think he is.
I've
Like
only seen that. We've never had any interaction with them. But
mm,
they said they've got an album coming out next year. So fingers crossed we'll do something in the lead up to that. But
that would
I
be cool.
everything I've seen of them just seems like, oh, they're fun, cool dudes.
Oh man, I mean, they were the people that made me want to be in a band with a bunch of my friends and be goofy, you know?
Yeah.
And like that was it, and I loved it. And they kept that vibe forever. They still have that vibe,
It's
you
cool
know?
thing as well. I think metal and hardcore and like the heavy scene can have this sort of like seems like a real tough mentality. But then you see like
Mhm.
Adam run around in a cape, and everyone's like, "Oh, actually,
Yeah,
that's pretty fun." Like you can play the angry
running to
music
the
and still be
bar,
fun. Yeah, doing
running
shots while
running to
still
bar to get a
shredding.
shot while shredding. He's like, "Watch it, it's my turn." I'm like, "Oh my God, it's so cool."
Have you seen that footage where he's talking to the dude at the bar and he's like asking for what he wants and he's still just fucking tapping away
Yeah.
doing his thing? I'm like,
Mhm.
I could barely have a conversation, let alone do the thing at the same time.
Oh yeah, that's what makes him like so unique, man. It's so
Yeah.
sick.
How
Love
do you
that.
find for the headlining stuff? Are you strict with like saving the voice and like kind of isolating before the shows? And is that like
Mhm.
a kind of lonely experience?
I guess so. Yeah, I feel like headlining shows, I kind of, especially when we do headlining tours, I feel bad because I'm usually like I kind of do isolate myself a little more because I need to conserve as much energy as I can. Um, but I'm trying not to do that so much on this tour. Like, but I also don't want to just exert all my energy during the day. So I'm going to sleep in a lot during the day. And then we have like meet and greet stuff. So I want to
Yeah.
have the energy to be able to do all that and meet with all the awesome people who are supporting our new record and have been supporting us for years. And
Yeah.
um but yeah, I do find myself like not really hanging out too much where I'm just like trying to conserve. But like it's usually like that for like the first week, just because first week back on tour is
Yeah.
always like re-scarring your throat, re-getting everything back. And then once I'm like comfy, I'm feeling good and the
Yeah.
vibes are there, vibe check.
It's just that first week of I don't want to blow everything out instantly and regret for the rest of the tour.
Exactly. But even still, like I try to watch what I eat. Specifically more on headlining tours. I watch what I drink. I don't really drink alcohol. Um, I'll have like some maybe at the end of the night, like after the show is over, but I
Yeah.
never drink before we play. And um, yeah, I'm usually pretty chill. I'm just like sipping my tea, waiting to play. You
Do
know,
you do you drink coffee?
I do drink coffee. I usually drink one in the morning. I can't really. I mean, I would drink more, but I feel like uh, coffee will just dry out my throat the
Yeah, I did
closer I play
not
to the set.
know this. I was talking with the While She Sleeps dudes when they were out here recently, and
Mm.
they were like, "Oh yeah, like no caffeine on tour. It just like agitates the throat too much." And because they have like three of them that sing together, but I was just like,
Yeah,
I did not know that. That's such an interesting thing
I
because you
mean,
would
I
think
wouldn't
like,
say no coffee on tour at all, but like no coffee 4 hours before your set,
yeah,
just purely water. Like, yeah, that's fine, but no coffee at all is like, hey, more power to you guys. But I definitely need my cup of Joe in the morning to like wake me up. You know.
Joe needs a cup of Joe.
Joe needs his cup of Joe in the morning,
Now
and
we
Pat
talked.
is like such a coffee fiend, so he like makes such a good cup of coffee in the morning.
Oh,
So
great.
Mm.
fuck, who was I with? They traveled their own like full coffee setup, and I was
Oh,
so impressed with that.
what's his name? Jesse from Thy Art Is Murder. He's like the craziest coffee dude. He is the coffee god.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, he is. He will literally. He just like has a whole setup with him. And Pat loves to like every morning. He'd be like, "I'm gonna go have Jesse make me a cup of coffee because he makes me the best cup of coffee I've ever had in my life." And he's a psycho. He knows every little thing about it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. I'll have to try and find him on the next tour and get some coffee out of him.
100%. He would love to. He enjoys it. He enjoys watching people's faces after they drink a cup of coffee that he made.
Yeah, that's cool. What's a band for you? Like you've been very lucky, not lucky. You've earned your place playing with some huge bands. Have you
Thank
got
you.
any like bucket lists that you still want to play with? You haven't had the chance to yet.
Yeah, yeah. I still want to play with Slipknot. I still want to play with Gojira.
Oh
I mean, I would love to play with Mudvayne. Mudvayne's still one of my favorites. Um, I mean, we did play with Obituary. I love playing with those dudes. Those guys are awesome. I did Lamb of God already. I did Kill Switch already. Those were like big bucket list ones for
what
me.
about outside of
Um,
your like direct? This makes sense as a support or to play with them. Have you got any bands there that you're like some?
Man, I would love to play with like Poison the Well. Poison the Well is like one of
Oh
my
yeah,
favorite bands. Love that
yeah.
band so much. Um, Out of the genre. I mean, I'm a big Beartooth fan. I know that's usually shocking to people when I say that, but
I don't know. I
that
don't think I'm not shocked by that. I feel like good music is good music.
yeah, but I mean, coming from like the genre that I play in,
Oh, sure.
the most of the fan base is like, you listen to that stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, like Caleb's a really good writer. That guy really knows how to write good music. And like, I come from a metalcore background, you
Yeah.
know, and like, I wasn't super into like the heavy metals until like a couple years before I even joined Fit for an Autopsy. Like, I was never doing like crazy lows or anything. I was like most like mids and high,
Yeah.
like like metalcore vocals, you know?
I don't know if we've talked about this the last time we interviewed, but like you got your start singing along to Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the thing that I think a lot of people might not have guessed or know.
No, I mean the first time I like screamed along to something was like stuff like that, you know, where those emotional vocalists were so emotional that it kind of peaked into just like screaming because they're upset, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's where I started. I was like, oh, screaming is kind of cool, and then that's what kind of segued me into like listening to harsher vocals, and then I was like listening to bands like E Town Concrete, and I was like, do you know E Town Concrete?
No.
Woo! They're a New Jersey band.
Okay.
They were the first time I heard like hip hop and hardcore put together in
Okay.
the same sense. Listen to a
Sure.
song called Mandibles. Everyone starts off with that song.
Mandibles. All right.
Mandibles. Yeah. Yeah. Listen to like that era of them. I'd be like, fuck, I don't know how I didn't listen to this, but like it was bands like that, like Hatebreed and um Glassjaw. You had like the crazy screaming in there too. But like when I started getting into the harsher stuff, that's where I was just like Whitechapel, the Acacia Strain. And I was
Yeah.
just
Okay.
like, ooh,
Do you remember the
yeah.
first like predominantly screamy band that you listened to that like got transferred you over? For me, so my I
Pantera?
know mine was Under Oath. I like was more of like a pop punk kid. Got into more of the emo side of things when like Alexis came out. Like it's more of that sort of
Hmm.
thing they used. And I remember hearing "Define the Great Line" was the first time I listened to an album that was like, oh, this is mostly screaming, and I love all of it.
Yeah, so I guess I would have to also say Under Oath then because that's the same world I came out of.
Yeah,
You know, I was listening to all of that stuff first, and then like once I guess that's where I started getting into like more harsher vocals because I was listening to like
yeah,
Under Oath, Poison the Well, It Dies Today, like all these like metalcore mixed metal bands,
yeah,
and then I started listening to like heavier stuff like death metal-y, but like I guess like more deathcore-y as they would call it, but like
yeah,
Whitechapel and the Acacia Strain were like really, really harsh, all screaming, but like I can understand what they're saying, you
yeah.
know?
Okay, yeah.
Because I didn't really go for any music that I couldn't understand what the vocalist was saying.
That's
Like
one
if
hundred
they were,
percent me.
yeah, like if it's just a bunch of noises, then I don't know. I don't get anything out of it. I know people do. I know there's like a ton of bands that do that, and like that's cool. That's your speed. But like for me, it didn't do anything to me because I look for something that I'm trying to attach myself to with the lyrics,
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
So yeah, I mean, listening to the Acacia Strain, how pissed off that dude was for years, it was just so cool because I understood every word he was saying, and I was like, "This is so sick. He's so pissed."
Is that
Like,
something that you take when delivering vocals of being like, this is how I would want to hear it, so I need to be able to have that like
mhm.
understandability to what I'm actually saying?
Yeah, my mother's a big culprit for that, really, because she would always tease me for listening to bands. Like, I never understand what they're saying. I was like, Mom, I'm gonna be in a band and I'm gonna make you understand every word I'm saying. And I still show her music, and she's like, Honey, I still don't understand what you're saying, but it's okay. You're so sweet. I was like, Oh yeah, I'm so sweet.
Thanks, mom.
Yeah. Pats me on the head, kicks
Yeah,
my butt, get out of here, go make a sandwich. I'm like, all right.
screaming along the kitchen. Oh.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, you've said Silver Sun, favorite track on the new album. Gun to your head, you have to cut
Mm.
one song off the new album.
Mm.
It's a hard question,
Mm.
I know, but Johnny's normally the bad guy and he asked that question, but he's not here, so I have to ask
Well, I'm gonna pretend that Johnny asked me that question.
it. Fucking Johnny. Oh,
Fucking Johnny, why would you ask me something like that,
I hate him.
Johnny? God damn it, Johnny.
That's gonna be the soundbite. I'll use that for all the social things. Just you being angry at Johnny.
God damn it, Johnny. Uh, um, fuck, that's so mean,
Yeah, it is.
Johnny.
It
That's
is.
so
You
mean.
you can use it. It doesn't have to be like I don't like this song, but like bands in the past have been like, well, I feel like this song would fit into. It's like a tie back to this album, whereas we're moving in this direction, or this song's actually more of the next album tie-in feel. So like that's why we would cut it. I'm giving you excuses.
There's a lot of excuses. I hear you though, Johnny.
Fucking Johnny.
Um,
Yeah, he wouldn't give you
Johnny.
excuses.
Fuck. Mm, I guess. Fuck, that's really tough because like this is kind of like one of the first albums where I like there's not a song I really don't like.
Great. That makes it even harder.
Um yeah, that's what makes it really tough. I guess just I guess I'll just say Spoils of the Horde for now. Even though I'm like regretting saying that already, but like because that song fucking rips. But like guns already at my head. I have to
Yeah.
say something else. I'm
I don't even know where
dying.
Johnny got
It's
the gun. It's crazy.
yeah, I don't know, Johnny. Just put the gun away. It's Australia. You're not even allowed to have that here. What are you
Yeah,
talking
you're
about?
absolutely right.
Yeah.
Okay, spoilers of the horde. Do you have a reason? I need to know a reason. I gotta ask that.
just because the gun was to my head. That's really
Okay.
it.
I just
Yeah, that's
blind poke and pick whatever lands on.
blindly picked that one. Yeah.
And what are we most excited to play live? Debut for the first time.
Um. Well, we're not playing it on this one. I mean, it's not like Weaker Wolves. I really want to play, and we will eventually have that in the set. But Weaker Wolves is a very fun one for me. But I like the one I'm most excited about playing is Red Horizon.
Oh, cool.
Red Horizon is one of my absolute favorite songs that we've written as a band.
That's
So
it.
I would definitely say that song for sure.
This might be more of a aimed at Will question, but you're here, so maybe you can answer for him. Is there any thoughts because of his uh, prolific songwriting, producing? He worked with so many bands in the scene. Is there
Mm.
any consciousness coming in of like, oh, we don't want to utilize this thing he's done with that band, or this is leaning sound too much like what he's done here? Or does he have like, no, this is my fit sound, this is what I'm doing here. I'm not
Yeah, no,
doing that.
he's very good at separating for sure.
Yeah,
Where it's
cool.
like it does, yeah. Even though we do get like obviously we get that comparison to Thy Art a bunch, but it's like yeah, they were produced by the same exact person, so it's
Yeah,
like, and we're kind of in the same world. But if you truly listen to the music, it's two very different types, you
fully.
know. But yeah, we've never really had that issue with him. He's always been like very good at separating and being like, this is very fit for an autopsy. And now I feel like that we've grown into our sound so much that like now we definitely have our own brand, if you will.
You definitely do. There, I was never like we said before about you. It took you a little bit to get into more like the deathcore sort of space. That's
Hmm.
something that I've only really gotten into like since doing the channel. There's bands that we've been
Hmm.
introduced to that people are like, oh, I need to go see you guys react to this, and it's something I probably wouldn't have checked out. But I feel like Fit is the band that I've been able to resonate with the most, even
Hmm.
before like building a friendship with you and like liking you on a personal
Hmm.
level. Just like
Yeah, yeah.
the musicality of it, I feel like there's an element to it that is separate from the scene. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
how
feel
you
like
might
we're
feel.
not like your normal deathcore band. Like we're not like I don't think we've really been a deathcore band for
For a
quite
while.
some time now. I feel like we've kind of moved into like the we're just like an aggressive metal band like
Sure.
era. It's like we've been pigeonholed as like a deathcore band for a while and I see where that comes from, you know. But I don't
It's the
think
word
we've
autopsy.
written yeah, it's that and like I don't know. I could see where like older music was very like deathcore-esque,
Oh,
but
sure.
like
Yeah.
we definitely have elements that deathcore kids like, but we also have elements that like your Swedish death metal dudes like, and like you're just like regular aggressive metal dudes like, you know? So we've always like tipped the scale and have been like, well, we're not really just this one sound,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, because deathcore can be like that. Deathcore is very like every song is a deathcore song. And like
Relentless.
for us it's like, oh, this is like a deathcore element in a song, but it's not a
Yeah.
full deathcore song, you know.
Yeah,
So
for
I think
sure.
that maybe that's what's helped you like segue into that, like being that little bridge point where it's just like I see the elements, but it's other elements that I like that deathcore doesn't offer me.
I we've always tried to be like I had never wanted to be like a critic because this has become
Hmm.
journalism. This is like a weirdly turned into like an actual journalistic job.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
never wanted to be like negative on things that I don't like. I'm always going to try and look for things that I can understand why people might like this. It might not be for me, but this is what I can understand
Hmm.
there. And so
100%.
I've changed my the way I view a lot of like heavy music. But yeah, as I
Mm,
said, like Fit was a band that I was like, oh, actually, I would just go and listen to that by myself. And there's other bands now that
mm.
the same thing I'll put on and actively enjoy listening to without a camera in front because I have to do a reaction or whatever it is. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it's such an interesting thing that yeah, it can be some like a little same sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, not all deathcore bands are like that. You know, some like anything that's like I don't know. Like there are still a lot of deathcore bands that I really enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then like some of it, I'm just like, eh, I've heard it before. But it's
Yeah,
like again, that's my taste of music and my taste and style of things. But it's like, you know, there's no like horrible music that's being put
yeah,
out here. You know what I'm saying? Everything is meant for somebody, and a lot of it's just not meant for me.
that's a great way to view it. Have you
Hmm.
heard the new Whitechapel track?
So fucking heavy.
I don't, as a vocalist, just
Hmm.
you will have much better comprehension of that. I can't wrap my head around that. I can't
What
get
what
my
could,
head around Phil's vocals. I just don't understand how
how
a human
insane
can
he
sound
is?
like that. Yeah. How does a human
Yeah.
produce those noise
He's the king
comfortably?
of that though. Like that's what I'm saying. Like for years he's been the king of that. And like people on the internet now, like younger kids, they don't understand that. But like he's the reason why so many of us vocalists sound the way we sound is because we've always wanted that element that Phil
Yeah.
has. You know, he is all right, in my opinion, and I'm putting this out there, like he's been the godfather of deathcore vocals for like ever. Him and Mitch Lurker have always been up there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But like when it comes to like that low, disgusting, like
Guttural.
tone and like understanding the words he's saying too,
That's
like
it. That's
he,
exactly it. It's still
mhm.
intelligible even when it's being dragged through hell.
Yeah, man, he's the king of that shit, dude. He's the one who got all of us to really understand how to do it, you know, without even telling us. We just
Yeah.
listened to it so much and we were just like, this is fucking it. Like almost every vocalist like us is definitely in the back of their mind is like, I want that Phil voice, you know. When
Get
you
fill
see
me
him on
up.
stage, you're just like, dude, like
Yeah.
live, it hurts. Like it's so brutal. Like we were on that tour with them. It was Thy Art, Whitechapel, us, and Spite.
Yeah.
And holy shit, shit, dude. I was so excited to watch Whitechapel every night because I've gotten to see them at festivals, like when we played festivals with them, but to watch them every night and to see how
Yeah.
consistent he is every night and just like such a chill dude too, just like
Cool.
very cool, calm, collected, and he's just a monster. Like some nights he get off, you're like, yeah, that was all right. I was like your bad day is my worst day, brother. Like what the fuck? Like like oh my God, you sound amazing even if you think you had a horrible day. You're like
Yeah.
still better. You're still better than me on my best, you know?
I'm sure everyone has those moments. I'm sure you come off and be like, oh, that wasn't the best. And everyone's like, yay, Joe.
I do it. I do it all the time, and people are always like, "Dude, you sounded ridiculous today." I was like, "Yeah, in a bad way."
Yeah.
Like, but that's just that's just me being hard on myself, and I guess that's just what keeps me wanting to be better every day. You
Hell
know,
yeah. Yeah. That's the best way to be.
I don't want to plateau and just be a vocalist. It's just like, yeah, I'm the shit at what I do. Fuck it. If I don't sound that good today, it's whatever. You know.
Well, the new album is definitely proof in the pudding there that you continuously getting better and better, I'm not
Thank
just
you.
blowing smoke. I genuinely believe that. I really do mean it.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Do you have a favorite line on the new album? A favorite vocal line? Because that's a thing I
Yeah.
love hearing from vocals being like, it can either be in the delivery, like I fucking crushed this, it sounds so cool, or just like, no, this line, like I really like the way it's written.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's my
yeah.
favorite line on the planet. I love it. I'm just like even practicing it. It's in Red Horizon. It's the bodies burned so bright that God closed his eyes.
I'm so glad you fucking said that because that's, yeah, when I used to know the first time I was training, and when that became on, and
Mhm.
then the repeat of that, I was like, oh, fucking want to
It,
lift.
yeah, yeah, dude. You hit your max that day, dude.
Oh, I did not, but I wanted to. I just wasn't strong enough.
I did not. At least you're honest about it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, no, that line is hard as fuck.
yeah.
That's
Also,
very, very.
your delivery of it, and because it's not just you don't deliver it the same way each time. There is like a kind of
Mhm,
growth in it too, which is fucking sick.
mhm. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I'm
yeah.
really excited to
That's
get
a
into
very
that.
fun line. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's a good one. That one's a really good one. Um, I also like that song Lurch. There's a lot of songs in the album where I say things like super overemphasized. Like, did you
yeah.
listen to Lurch?
That's what I
Like,
mentioned before. Lurch is the one that like as a
yeah,
midway point, it's like track 7, maybe.
yeah, something like that.
I
It's
feel
like
like I have an
we
affinity with track 7.
lurch, and
Yep,
I'm
yep.
like we lurch into ours. It's like I'm throwing it and catching it, and then the
Yeah,
hey Bill, yeah, parasitic worms line, and I'm just like sad water. So I'm like, that's like very Randy Blythe esque in the jaw,
yeah.
you know. So,
Do you know the guys in Bury Tomorrow?
oh yeah, absolutely. Dan's
Yeah.
awesome.
Dan's vocal that reminded me a bit of a Dan vocal style. Like I feel like he has a
Hmm.
real theatrics in the way he like throws words out there. And Lurch was exactly that for me. It had that sort of feel. Like
Yeah.
in like choke, that like that choke song at the end of
Hmm.
your rope. It had like that sort of throw out. That's the feeling I
Yeah,
get
yeah,
from
yeah.
Lurch, which yeah, it's
Yeah. I
so good.
love overemphasizing things like that. Even in Red Horizon, um, shit, you guys didn't see it, but there's like a part where it's like into the pits, the earth shifts, and it's just like the
Yeah,
way it just like hits and moves, and there's just a lot of cadences on the album that I just had a lot of fun with,
that's
you know.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Because
pumped for you to like
it's a lot more to vocals than just sounding really sick. It's how you say them,
yeah.
which I think is also something that I've always appreciated over time.
Particularly when you like you said, you're trying to keep it intelligible so people can actually understand it. And sometimes those
Mm,
words, I feel like that can really help with the clarity and the diction is by
100%.
putting the emphasis onto that thing because they might have like, oh, that was a bit muddled, but then I understand where the end goes and that kind of translates the beginning, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh man, I'd come back to Australia already, please.
I want to just like be my sponsor, let me live there. We could just be roommates. It's fine. I'll
We've
live with the
talked
dog.
about this. Oh yeah, Luna would love to see you. We've talked about this, and this is something we talk about like for the last like 2 years. We want to do like a breakdown presents, but we don't know the
Yeah.
first thing about actually putting on a tour. But if there was a way to do
Yeah.
it, the problem is though, we have such eclectic taste, and the bands I'd want to bring out here, it would be such a varied lineup. Like
Yeah. But it would probably be sick though. Like the Australian fans would probably love that shit. A
Potentially.
sick mixed bill lineup would be awesome. Like
Yeah.
look at Sick New World that we have. What a lineup. This year's lineup is
Yeah.
a full heavy as balls lineup. It is a actual metal lineup this year.
Yeah.
And it's like fucking sick. And you guys could absolutely do that shit. I don't know, talk to people like Marshy. Marshy probably knows something.
Marshy does know a lot of things, but
Marshy's one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life.
it's and he's also like so chill.
He's the sweetest person on the planet. I just
Yeah.
want to sit there, eat steaks, and just drink some wine with him. That's
Yeah.
it.
I enjoy also because he's very Australian, and I really love that.
So, that's where I just like, I love talking to him because I just hear his accent and I'm just like, I will live in your accent one day.
It is that he has like yeah, very like he says things with the accent, but also I guess like being Brisbane based. Like, can you hear the difference in Australian accents?
I do now that I've spent enough time there.
Okay,
Yeah.
he has like quite a like a Brisbane accent, I think, which is a
Yeah.
little bit more. I don't want to say
It's
bogan,
slower.
but bogan. Yeah, it is
Yeah,
slower. Yeah,
it's slower, you know,
that's pretty good.
slower. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
hear too many people doing a good Australian accent. That was quite good.
Oh man, I pull it out a lot. It's just like it's because Australia is like one of my favorite countries on the absolute planet. So I'm just like I love the accent, and it's like some of them really high pitched.
Yeah,
Everyone gets up a little higher, and then even higher is like New Zealand. So
yeah.
some have like real raveny sounding, like meh, meh, you know.
Oh, God. It's so funny as Australian. I don't hear them as much, but hearing you say that, I can definitely like go. Yeah, I've heard someone that sounds like that. I know someone that sounds like that.
Yeah, 100%.
My wife has more of an Australian accent than I do,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, she will. She has like the. I don't know how to say this without offending her. She won't say this. She'll like say things that sound quite like derelict bogan and just been like her like yeah nah like and I catch it
Yeah.
sometimes. I'm like, who are you?
I love that.
Yeah.
I love the Australian accent. I wish I was born with it. It would have been awesome.
I it definitely helps when you're overseas. People like Australian. I don't know because we're viewed as being so like laid back and relaxed. People are
Mm.
always really nice to us. I think that's probably the whole reason why this channel is successful because people don't realize we're actual idiots. They're like, oh, they're so chill.
Yeah, it's the accent. I'm telling you, it's being exotic. You know,
Ooh, I like that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It is super
delegating.
exotic. Yeah, yeah.
Well, dude, I won't take up too much more of your time. I'm stoked to
You're
catch up with
good.
you. It's
Absolutely.
I've written down to go see listen to Rockstar and
Hmm.
watch Rockstar. What was
Hmm.
can you text me the song that I need to listen to by that band? The
Oh, from Newtown
version?
Concrete. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I
Yeah, because
got
I
you.
will
I'll
absolutely
send
appreciate
you.
that.
You have Spotify?
Yeah.
I'll send you the album link for on
Yeah, cool.
Spotify.
Thank you. I'll
Yeah,
check that out.
yeah,
And
yeah.
now this is out. Everyone can go listen to the new Fit for an Autopsy album. And
Mhm.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. I'm really pumped for everybody to get a hand on like the entire record because it's like, yeah, you heard the singles, and usually the singles are supposed to be like the bangers, but there's some fucking bangers on that record that are not singles.
100%. My favorite tracks, I really liked the singles, but my favorite tracks
Hmm.
aren't the singles. So
Yeah, yeah. That's
I'm
like same with me. Like except for like Hostage was a really fun one, and Red Horizon is also like a really, really fun one. But like,
wait, is Red Horizon a single?
I mean, by the time this is out, it would have been.
Great, cool. It hasn't been out yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, future.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, it's a single, and we've already talked about
Yes,
this.
you guys listened to that already when this came out.
Is there a clip coming for it?
Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe if we have to edit it out, we can, right?
Yeah, I can
If I
cut
say,
things out. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We're putting out a music video for it.
I mean,
On,
will the single be out before the album's out?
it's supposed to so I think it comes out the day. Oh, yeah, I think it actually comes out the day of the album, which doesn't
Cool.
make sense to me, but
No, I think that's a good move. I think that seems to be something that bands are doing. Well, fuck, we're not going to end this conversation. I've got more to talk about. I feel like that's becoming more and more prevalent. It's like drip feed singles and then on album release a single film clip for it. And
yeah, yeah.
that's a great song for album launch too. Like,
I can't wait for you to see the video.
yeah. Oh man, pumped. So
Very,
excited.
very sick.
Yeah,
Very, very sick.
someone messaged us yesterday and was like, "Can you do the new Fit for Autopsy single?" And I was like, "What? They released a new single?" And I was like searching to see if you'd like put out a film clip, but no, they just didn't see our last two videos. So I was a little
Yeah.
disappointed. But yeah,
Oh yeah,
great.
lower purpose was the most recent single
Yeah,
that we just dropped.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you
Okay.
do one for lower purpose?
I don't know. I was away for a week. Johnny
Okay.
may have done. We've been doing more like solo stuff where we have to, just because our
Mhm.
schedules aren't lining up. We're only filming once a week at the moment,
Yeah.
which is
Mhm.
hard. And this week we didn't film because it was Johnny's daughter's birthday. So I've just done a few things
Yeah.
by myself. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Well, lower purpose is fun. That's another fun one that we're playing on this one. So we're doing all the singles live. So
sick. How do you enjoy the process of filming music videos?
for me, especially when we work with like someone like Eric Richter, he's like some of them. I have so much fun like working with him. He's just so energetic and like so willing to like fuck with ideas that like
Cool.
I have and like really bring them to life. So it's he's awesome. He's awesome. And we work with Dragon Nick. He plays bass in Straight from the Path.
Oh yeah,
Anthony.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He did Savior of None, Ashes of All. Yeah, we had a lot of fun
Oh,
with that.
cool.
His girlfriend does like all like the special effects makeup and stuff. So them as a
Sick.
tag team is so awesome to work with as well. So I
Cool.
have so much fun. I love recording videos because I like doing acting stuff.
Yeah.
Granted, I don't really act in a lot of these. I guess I'm acting like
You're
I'm singing, but
performing, but yeah.
yeah, but I personally I wanted to get into more like acting roles and stuff. So
I feel
I
like
want to get into that because I really love that world.
it's a cool thing. I think that we're seeing it more and more with music videos. Obviously, like we watch so many every week for a job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Seeing that line is blurring more and more of like musicians becoming actors and performances. Like some of the like I look at Ice Nine Kills. Their
Mm-hmm.
film clips are like fully theatrical mini movies every
Mm-hmm.
time. I think that's really cool,
Mm-hmm.
and it elevates the bands and helps kind of like sell the live performances a bit more. Being like, oh, I'm seeing these guys like perform.
Oh,
That's sick.
100%. Absolutely. Our production on this one too, on this tour, especially in the States. Dude, I just was at our trailer. I've never seen so many lights. We have more lights than I've ever had in any
Awesome.
trailer before. It's like crazy. I can't wait to see what it all looks like on stage. We have no
Yeah.
idea what it looks like. We're not going to know till tomorrow.
Who does
So,
that for you?
so we use this company Squeak. We rent lights from them,
Okay.
and I'm not sure how the whole process works, but we usually have a lighting tech who just like
Yeah. Okay.
mans it, make sure it runs
Is it
every
like a
night.
pre-programmed like first songs? This is what's happening. So same
Yeah,
beat.
yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
exactly. Yeah.
That's fun. I think that there's more emphasis, and maybe just because like heavy music's having a moment, particularly in
Hmm.
Australia. Like it's
Oh
getting
yeah.
bigger and bigger. It's so cool seeing bands being like, "Fuck, you know what? Let's put a bit more money into this and make it like a
Mhm.
show." Because like I know
Well, look
the
at Gojira playing the Olympics. Like that helped out with our entire world in general,
yeah
you
Parkway.
know.
Did you see Parkway's like footage from their Australian tour?
No, but I did just see a clip like maybe 45 minutes before I got on here with you. He was like standing on top of something, like in the center of the room, and flames are just shooting out
Dude,
of him.
I'll send you some of
So
the
I'm
video I
like,
filmed from it. It's bonkers. It was like
dude.
it's next level. It's a proper performance. It's a show
Mhm.
coming from like I've seen those
It's
dudes playing
crazy,
100
dude.
back rooms.
Dude, me too. Like when I was younger, I saw Parkway Drive. This is when that like what was it Sharks in Your Mouth or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was when that
The
album
prom
came
queen.
around. They yeah, with I Killed the Prom Queen,
Yeah,
and a couple other bands played that, and I was like, this is so sick. And now to see where they're at now, it's just wild, man. Like their
wait to see where
production
they're
was sick
going.
back then. I I'm so curious. Like,
Yeah,
it's nuts. Like those guys are absolutely crushing it
it's
and
cool.
put
It's
Australia on the fucking map, dude. It's so cool.
yeah, yeah. We're pretty like the Australian heavy scene is getting bigger and bigger, and it's cool to see. It's like it's recognized overseas. Like obviously you toured with Make Them
Huge.
Suffer off their last tour here. Well, no,
Yeah,
second
I
last
love
tour they
them
did.
so much. I miss them so much.
Yeah, the best. Have you heard
Yeah.
new album yet?
I've not the whole thing. Did it come out?
No, but I didn't know if they'd sent you a little sneaky peeky.
No. I heard a single, recent single, right? They just dropped
Man of
like a
God.
single in a music video. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Heavy
It's
as
like in a
fuck.
prison or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super heavy.
And they're all
Yeah,
buff
super.
doing chin ups and being jacked.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, love it.
So
So
good.
sick.
All right,
Yeah.
brother. It's a pleasure. I miss you, but it's good to catch up.
I miss you too. Absolutely. Thank you for having me again. I appreciate it. It's always fun doing it with you. Fuck
And
you, Johnny, for putting a gun to my head and making
you're
me fucking
absolutely
pick a
right.
bad
Fuck you,
song.
Johnny. If there's
Yeah.
one takeaway from this interview, fuck
It's
you,
fuck
Johnny.
you, Johnny.
All right, brother. We'll have a wonderful evening, and I'll
Thank
get back
you.
to you once I've watched Rockstar.
Absolutely. And can you just text me the name of that movie again? It was like
Yeah, rock and roller.
Rocking
I'll
something.
send you a link to.
Rock and Roller. Cool, cool. Thank you.
Go.
Later, brother.
All right, brother.